This is a demonstration of a very good method to do an assessment online. This is for a purely online training client. So first of all, you'd select your client, or in this case I'm going to do templates, and go. This brings you to the appropriate dashboard, and you just add an assessment template. New assessment, add. Brings up the assessment builder, just give it a title. I'm going to call this one a standard assessment. You can choose a different client or group, but we'll keep it as templates. And then start choosing my assessments that I want to put in. So I'll start with posture assessment and movement screen. Use the drag and drop system. Overhead squat. Bring it in, drop it into the appropriate section, and I'll pop in a clap test as well. Drag it and drop it, pop it in, and while we're here I'll do a static postural analysis and put it into the assessment. Let's come down a little bit to open up the other boxes. Next, I'll do some strength, endurance and power. Obviously 1 rep max tests will most likely need you to be there. They're on the system anyway, but unless they've got a good spotting partner, I wouldn't put that in. Good ones for people in the home, put in a maximal press-up test. And maybe add in a plank. Now, as a side note, with any of these assessments, you can add in your own. There's a custom field here, and you just add in your own custom assessments. You can put videos in or not. You can put descriptions in or not. It's up to you. The assessment record sheet that's created alongside your assessments will pick up your custom exercise, your custom assessment, so that you can also record the results in the same place. And we'll move on to some cardiovascular tests. And perhaps we'll do a maximum time test at 5 miles an hour. There's no video, but there is a description because it's quite a long treadmill test. I don't think a video would be too entertaining. We'll carry on down. Range of movement testing. Just click down and we'll go for quadriceps. Drop it in the box. Come further down and we've got seated hamstring flexibility. Drop that one in as well. Then we'll bring in some body composition analysis. It will work out for you BMI as you put the results of height and weight in. It will also work out body fat percentage from caliper testing. This is difficult with online clients. I'm going to pop it in anyway, but it's difficult with online clients. You can put a custom test in just as a body fat percentage for perhaps scales, so you can just record the scale measurement. And then you can do girth measurements with tape measures. So we'll pop one of those in. Obviously, your clients can get a tape measure out and measure themselves, and you can record that. There's space for custom tests. And when you're happy, click on the record sheet. There's a tick here that says that it's live. I always like to hide it from my clients because I want to record the results. I don't want them recording the results. And then close that down. So the tick says the record sheet is live. I'll tick in here to make the program live. I don't want to add any coaching or attachments to it, but you can put further video, PDF or text with your assessment if you wish to. And I'm just going to click save. And then go back to my clients. In the case of this, it obviously takes me back to my templates dashboard. I'm going to go to the home page and I will copy that to one of my clients' accounts. So I just choose a client. At the moment I use example client, and I will go to add assessment, from template, select my template standard assessment that I've just made and add. And that'll bring up the assessment builder again so that I can do any editing that I like to make it specific to this client. I will give it a title for this client, call it assessment 1. And then save it. And the assessment saved, close it down, go back to my client. And there it is as assessment 1. A good idea, I think, is always to create your assessment and to get your client to log in and have a look at each movement in the assessment once. So if we come to assessment 1 and view it, this is what your client would see when they log in through your website, or if you haven't integrated through your profile page. So they would see the various assessment movements. If you click on one, the video will come up and they'll be able to see what they need to do. Obviously this is a static postural analysis, so it doesn't have a particular great deal of movement, but for things like a CLAT test, overhead squats, etc., it's good for them to see the movement once without seeing it so many times that they coach themselves in the movement, and they can just go through each one. What this means is when you get to the assessment and get to your Skype assessment, they know what they have to do, and you don't have to move your camera around showing them every movement, meaning they would have to also move their camera around, and it can get quite time consuming and messy. This way they can just click the movement and then do it in front of their screen where it's set up for you to view them doing the movement, and you can be sitting at a desk or with a computer on your lap however you want and just recording the results rather than having to get up and demo every assessment. Now I'm just going to choose assessment 1 and view/record results, and what comes up is an assessment record sheet that has all of the movements, all of the assessments that I wanted in my assessment, and it will work out anything that needs working out, or I can just record anything that needs recording. Now, to do a Skype assessment or an assessment over FaceTime or anything like that, what I like to do is just make it smaller and bring up Skype on the other side of the screen. I won't call anyone for the purpose of this demonstration, but make my call in Skype, have the video just here, and then at the same time I can be recording my results in the other half of my screen. And keep scrolling down, keep recording the results. When you've gone through the whole assessment, recorded all the results that you want, you just click save, and that will now be recorded under your client's profile, and that will be there for you to refer to at any time you like. We'll go back to the client and open it all out again. The other thing that you can do with assessments is you might want your client to fill out some forms or questionnaires. So we've got custom questionnaire that you can create, lifestyle questionnaire, medical analysis, PAR-Q, consultation form, and informed consent form. You can either send them beforehand with the program, which is what I quite like to do, or you can attach them again. If I do a PAR-Q and add it, if I then go to forms, see the PAR-Q view form, and this is what your client will get up. So they can fill in the PAR-Q with you while on the assessment, or they can do that beforehand. It's entirely up to you how you want them to do it. Okay? Back to client. And that's really how to do an online assessment over Skype or FaceTime.